Hi guys, Mike back again with an update video to my previous video entitled Forge World versus Forgery World, where myself and Callum from Tabletop Banter had a look at some genuine Forge World Deathshroud for the Death Guard Legion and some recast Deathshroud. And I was interested in kind of seeing the differences in quality and yeah, just the overall differences really. Price comparison, that kind of stuff, and and kind of show you what the differences are. So what we've got here basically is my squad of 5 genuine Deathshroud that have been built and ready to go. So these are ready to be primed, and I'll give you a quick look. So they are, as you'd expect, no issues. Really nice sculpts, and I've followed the basic kind of layout of the Forge World minis. The scythes and the arms are kind of set. They're all numbered 1 to 5. So set of arms 1 goes with scythe number 1, etc. I mean, you can chop and change if you really want to, but seeing as I'm only going to do one squad of Deathshroud, yeah, don't really need to. So here's another guy. Again, like no issues, really minimal mold lines. There weren't any mold slips on these Deathshroud at all. He's kind of, got the scythe, kind of right up there. Kept the head separate just for ease of painting. There's one sort of standing sentry. So, but yeah, really like these. Giving them all the melter bombs. And I've got a feeling they're going to paint up very nicely. So yeah. Now, I didn't go through the rigmarole of building all 5 Deathshroud from the recast, because I'm not going to use, I don't want the recasts in my army effectively. So basically I've just built the one. Although I will say that if I wanted to build the 5 straight away, the quality was not there from a recast perspective. Lots of the gates that are attached to individual components, and I've got some of them here. So I'll just give you a bit of a look. So, for example, this is the recast shoulder pad, and when you remove the gate, I was really careful here as well. I mean, that's an absolute nightmare. Fortunately, I suppose with the Death Guard you could get away with that, because they're all, I mean my Death Guard at least anyway, because they're all battered and chipped and stuff. And I have actually intentionally gouged some battle damage out of some of these models. So yeah, we've got a shoulder pad there, which is not good. I mean, to be fair, it was the shoulder pads mainly. The arms, some of the scythe quality wasn't brilliant on the blades, which was, I suppose, to be expected because it's, quite thin. But so yeah, I mean, everything else kind of was all right. The legs were okay, bodies are okay, arms were okay. So the scythes were a bit dodgy, the heads were okay, and just the shoulder pads you see. So this one came like that basically. So you've got this little gate, and then removing that, well, this one would be okay, I think, but removing that is potentially going to cause damage to the shoulder pad. So if you are relying on having flawless models from a recast perspective, I mean, that one under there is all lumpy. There's an overfilling of resin there. The gate was here. So if you were relying on them to be flawless, certainly for the ones that I had, are not flawless. So I've taken the best components really. Took the best components for one demonstration basically. So this is a recast Deathshroud. So again, blade's a bit dodgy, bit of a ding out of it, a bit of a hole, but that's okay for me because mine are all kind of battered and rusted and I'm not bothered about that. So the blade will be all rusted up anyway, and I'll make that little ding a feature. So that's my recast. So, you know, side by side, where's one that's similar? So kind of similar. Yeah, it's the same legs, same body. I put different arms on because they were better, or the scythe was better. So, you know, side by side, not too different really. So we're going to paint them up and see what it looks like. So that's it for this little stage of the video. So I want to, I'm sort of worried that I'm going to get my recast mixed up with my genuine ones. So yeah, remember the pose, and we'll record it for posterity. This is a recast version. So anyway, so that's it for this section. I'll catch you in a sec. I might show you what they look like primed, and then we're going to paint them, and I'll come back to you when that's finished. So I'll catch you in a sec. Hi guys, we're back, and I've primed the Deathshroud. I actually decided to add a build up another one just to kind of, you know, kind of give a bit more of a comparison. So we'll start around here with the genuine Forge Rod ones, and you can see that I've primed them in Vallejo Panzer Grey, and now they're ready for my rust effects. So these are genuine. And so where's our you need to work out which ones are not genuine. Okay, so on this one here is genuine, and this one here is a recast. So there we go, same legs, same body, but I have used different arms. So I shall leave it up to you. Let me just move that so it focuses. So we'll do a slow spin. Like I said, overall, the you know, they went together exactly the same. You can see the pitting, the quality of the scythe is probably not as good on the recast. Don't know. Can you tell? I don't know. And is it about that anyway? I mean, is it about, can you tell? Is it about, you know, I appreciate, you know, the ethics and the moral standing of purchasing recasts. But with primer on them, I would contest, would you ever know which was genuine, which was recast? I mean, you know, you look at the pipe work on the arms and the detailing around the back. Yeah, I mean, so anyway, I'm going to paint them up, and we'll have a look when they're completely finished. So that's it for this section of the video, and I'll show you what they look like when they're fully painted. Okay guys, and we're back with the completed Deathshroud squad. It's been mere seconds for you, but it's been a few weeks for me, actually, by the time I've got around to painting them and finishing them off, but they're all completely done now. So we have 7 Deathshroud down there. We have 5 genuine Forge World models and 2 recasts. And if you want to see more about the recasts, please, well, I have time. To be fair, I'm filming the 3rd part of this video. That's all kind of one video weeks after I filmed the first bit. So yeah, I've spoken about the recast stuff. I've spoken about wanting to do a compare and contrast, and in a previous video that you'll be able to find, we looked at Forge World versus Forgery World and whether it was worth buying the recasts and not buying the genuine Forge World models. So I'm going to show you some models. So anyway, I know you can't really see from here, but place your bets. Which ones are genuine, which ones are recast. So we're going to kind of look at 2 at a time. 2 in this selection here are recasts. So let's get the right. I'll have to do them 1 at a time actually. So yeah, gone for my normal rusty appearance, picked out all the pipe work, painted up the scythes, so kind of rusted, Painted them with the heads off, just so it was easier to get into do the eyes and the pipe work around the head and stuff. So that's one. Quite like the pose on this one. Went for the suggested poses on the Forgery website for the 5 genuines, and I might have mixed it up a little bit for the recast ones, just so they kind of all looked a bit different. So this one now with his scythe held high. Again, you can see all the rusting and chipping, and there's some verdigris effects on some of the gold bits. So what do you think so far? Any kind of thoughts which ones might be recast, or haven't we seen any yet? So that's it. It's quite an interesting, I've had quite interesting conversations with people about it. Some people are all for it. Some people are dead against it. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't want an army full of recasts, if I'm honest. I do like the genuine stuff, and I want to support, Forge World. Clearly, if Forge World didn't exist, the recast wouldn't exist either. But I want to support the original models, or the original, designers and creators. But I kind of get why people might buy recasts. When we're looking at a squad of Deathshroud, it's 50 quid for 5 models, which, in the grand scheme of things, 50 quid for 5 models, £10 a model is, is not too bad, really, relatively, when you're looking at some of the, I appreciate these aren't character models, but they are HQ and elite choices. And some of the single models, character models, are 20, 25 quid, and more in some instances. So that's all 7. Which ones are recast? I need to look myself, actually. It's these 2. These 2 are the recasts. So did you guess? I mean, to be fair, I've spoken about the quality of the resin in the previous parts of this video, and there were some issues. So you can see here a big ding out of that shoulder pad, for example. But again, it fits the theme of the look I'm going for this 30k Death Guard Legion. But from a painting them up perspective, primer went on okay. All the paint went on okay. And my experience of painting these 2 recasts was exactly the same. No different at all than painting the 5 genuine ones. No different whatsoever. The pipe work was the same. The detailing on the pipe work was the same. Everything came out the same. So from that perspective, you can't really moan about it. You can't complain about the quality of recasts here. But like I said before, that if you wanted to make a squad out of the 5 models that you receive, there would have been issues, particularly if you wanted a flawless looking squad, because that wasn't going to happen. Because, like I said, lots of dings like this. Some of the blades on the sides weren't great, but they all went together well. Really, they went together well. They painted up well. The detail that you would think might be compromised, like the pipe work, like the sort of finer detail, I suppose, was all there. And again, there were a few little dodgy bits with the sides, a few dodgy bits where gates had been put, or where they'd chosen to put the gates to fill the mold to make the component. So some of that wasn't great, like the shoulder pads, for example. So, but there we go. So, like I say, 50 quid for a squad of 5 genuines, or 16, 17 pounds for a squad of 5 recasts. So again, your mileage may vary, and certainly will vary, depending on the recaster you decide to buy from, if you ever decided to. But yeah, just wanted to give a bit of a compare and contrast, really. So that the quality isn't wildly different, although, and clearly with the recast stuff, there's absolutely zero comeback. And if you got sent a pile of rubbish, you'd have zero comeback from that completely. So. Whereas Forge World, on the other hand, if you've got 5 dodgy models, they're going to replace them for you, aren't they? So anyway, so that's my little compare and contrast. Certainly on a tabletop, if you were to use the 2 recasts, you would never know. And to be fair, I mean, I've got a look. It's just because I know the poses. I know which ones are posed in a certain way. And like I say, the big ding out of this shoulder pad. But, I think actually some of the genuine ones... So that's got a little ding out of the shoulder pad, as has that one. So, that one's fine. So yeah, anyway, so that's it. Questions, queries, comments, please let me know. If you've got anything to say about the world of recasts and Forgery world, let me know. Keep it in the public comments if you can. So we can generate a bit of discussion, and we can have a public discussion about it. And I get it. Some people feel compelled to message me in private and give me a bit of abuse, but and that's your that's your choice to do that. But I tend not to answer those queries and comments, to be honest. But if you want to have a conversation in public, I'm more than happy to answer any questions, queries, and comments there. So that's it for this one. Bit of a look at Forge World versus Forgery World. I probably won't be doing any more of these, but it is interesting nonetheless, just to sort of see. So I hope you've made it to the end of this video. I appreciate it's been quite a long one. It's made up of 3 parts, and I just kind of wanted to put it all in one video. So this will be one of those ones you put on in the background probably and look up when we're doing a bit of compare and contrast of the models. So that's it for this one, guys, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.